Welcome to a potential podcast with Tracy Lee. Thank you for coming back. And if this is your first listen, thank you for joining the ride. So the goal of this podcast and these interviews, as I had said in my intro, is to learn more about people, learning more about people and therefore learning more about myself, because there's obviously a common trait that we share because we are all human beings. I'm using various interesting facts about people as my jump off point, just various things that I've learned or just interesting traits about people that I've seen that I'd really like to find out about. And I'm going to introduce my very first guest. Her name is Luba. Yay! A lovely human being that I attend church and book club with. So just to give context on how we ended up here, I sent Luba a message a few months ago and asked her, out of the purple, do you consider yourself an introvert? She said yes. I was like, would you like to be on my podcast? She said yes. And then I proceeded to disappear for 3 months because me. Please refer to my first episode. So thank you for still wanting to be here, Luba. Thank you for coming. Say hey to the people on the podcast.
Hi, everyone. I am Luba, like Tracy mentioned.
Do you want to tell people what you do? What's your vibe?
What's my vibe? I'm just a girl who's trying to survive adulting, really. But yeah.
Aren't we all in a real way? So, just to give a little bit of context on the actual topic. So, I am classified as an introvert and an extrovert. Yeah, I got it wrong. I read introvert and I was like, this is a fun podcast, guys. We're going on a journey here. Anyway, I'm classified as an extrovert, but I love me a little bit of alone time. And I don't think I have extroverted close friends, but I just realized, I realized a little bit ago that actually I don't think they're introverted around me. Maybe that's what it is. But anyway, we're here. So I was like, I want to talk to someone who, we can have an actual conversation about just how we experience life a little bit different from that perspective. So Luba, obviously, you answered yes when I asked, are you an introvert? So what exactly would you define as an introvert from your perspective?
Wow. Just someone who likes a lot of alone time. He said he liked a little bit of alone time.
Yeah.
Someone who likes a lot of alone time, but also maybe just someone who prefers the backgrounds rather than like in a room, that person would choose to be in the background role rather than being the main character.
The stirrings. I get you.
But yeah.
Okay, cool. So, just to give a little bit of background of what, if you don't know what an introvert or an extrovert is. So, the descriptions I got that time, I just want to note that there's a lot more an introvert than there is about extroverts. Like, there's 4 points that talk to what an introvert is in different, spaces and spheres. Extroverts, it's one line. And I'll read them to you.
Okay.
So, introvert, this is what the streets say introverts are. An introvert is a person with qualities of a personality type known as introversion, which means they feel more comfortable focusing on their inner thoughts and ideas rather than what's happening externally. They enjoy spending time with just 1 or 2 people rather than larger groups or crowds. Stop me if any of these things are wrong. Cool. And then there's a difference between introversion and shyness.
Okay.
That one maybe we can unpack. Many people think of introverts as shy, but the two aren't linked. Introversion is a personality type, while shyness is an emotion. Okay, science in the streets. And then extrovert. I'm not joking. This is the line. An outgoing, socially confident person. That's it. That's all I got. How many words is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 words. Sentences. Emotions versus personality type. None that's. I got 5 words, but it's fine. Whatever. It's not a fight. Maybe let's actually pack into these two, especially the introversion versus shyness. Would you consider yourself shy?
Yes, I am shy.
So, do you think it's part of introversion?
Not really. I don't know if it's an emotion though.
Right? So I'm like, is shyness an emotion?
I don't know. I wouldn't define it as an emotion.
Do you feel shy? Because isn't it that's how people define an emotion? Can I feel shyness?
I mean, I guess, but that means I feel shy in every new space I enter into.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. I don't know. But yeah, that's what the streets say. They say they aren't linked. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they are. But anyway, whatever. Have you ever met anybody who's also introverted but in a different way to you? Maybe that's a question we could ask.
Yes. I mean, I'm like, I love alone time, but like I can't be alone all the time. Yeah, I met someone, or I know someone rather. She's like alone all the time, and then only people when she has to.
Like as in, look, requirements say.
Yeah, like people as in like, okay, I have to go to work. Okay, you're here now. I have to talk to you. So I know someone like that.
That is interesting.
So I'm not like that. Like I still value being around people. Maybe I don't like being around 5 people or 10 people at once. But I feel like I still need people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in her case, she's like, people are like a necessary evil type of vibe.
Like it's exhausting.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is intense. Like this is the thing, and I think this is another reason why I wanted to have this conversation, is because I've never, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing. I don't think either side is a good thing or a bad thing, but I've never experienced that. And I think that's the reason I was so interested to have a conversation like this, is because like, let's talk about it. Like, what is it like to go through life in a different, kind of space like that? Because I'm like, I'm not going to say I don't think it's a mental space. It's not, take it that far, because mental health is a different topic completely. But it's like a mental space. It's like, it's a social space. It affects so many things. Because I mean, like you said, your friend, I'm going to say friend, your friend is like, look, I have to people. Like, and that's all I'm doing here. Like, I'm not gonna, that is intense. How many extroverted friends do you have?
I mean, like around my friends, they're very extroverted, like as in around other people, just generally extroverted. Not a lot.
Really?
Yeah, not a lot.
So like actual homies, like, look, this is the person I call. Not a lot.
Yeah, I think they're more like in between.
Interesting.
I get overwhelmed.
It must be. Oh my gosh, I'm going to ask a question that might hurt my feelings, but I'm going to ask anyway, because we're going through boundaries. Was I overwhelming the first time you met me? You can tell me the truth. I've been told. It's not the first time I would have heard this.
You were nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were nice. I think the first time I met you, I was in the new space. So I needed someone to because we met at the tribe, and I was like, I don't really know these people, and
that place is packed with them.
So going there, I was like, what if no one talks to me? So I needed that.
Oh yeah, so you were already in a situation where like loud is kind of what you need, because then you can be like, okay, no one's looking at me being new or whatever.
Exactly.
I get you.
And there's someone who's gonna come talk to me, because then the fear is like, I'm gonna get there, no one's gonna talk to me, I'm gonna be too scared to talk to anyone, so I'm just gonna be sitting there alone.
I get you.
So yeah,
I get you. All right, that makes sense. But yeah, okay, cool. So we found a quiz. Well, I found a quiz, and I want us to do it together. But I was like, let's do it live jive.
Okay.
On the podcast. I kind of read the questions, but I was like, also, let's do reactions while we're at it. Okay, cool. So the quiz is on Very Well Mind. I'll put in a link if anyone wants to try it. It depends, honestly, if we like it or not. Apparently, it was medically reviewed. There's a tick and everything. So let's just go in it. So it says, discover where you fall on the introvert-extrovert spectrum. So each question, let's go. So question 1. To prepare for a night out. Option 1. I buy the latest outfit, tell my friends, then dance the night away. Option 2. Call a few of my closest friends to see if they will be there. Option 3. Prepare. My friends have to drag me out most nights. I just realized something. And this is just another layer to this conversation, which I think is interesting, is as I've gotten older, my answer has changed. Like there's a version of me that would have said option 1, which is buy the latest outfit, tell my friends and go down. But me right now is like, okay guys, I'm not going there if I don't know people type of vibe. So option 2 for me. Which one did you pick?
So I picked option 2 as well.
Okay. Being around people makes me feel A, like I'm alive. B, inspired. I feed off of others' energy, but there are times when I'd rather be alone. Or C, a bit exhausted. Being around others can be draining. Oh, this one's tricky. I'm going to say inspired.
I said inspired. Plot twist, I'm not an introvert.
Imagine. That would be so funny. Anyway, this is the reason I wanted to do the quiz live. I haven't done it either. So I'm like, imagine I'm actually an introvert and you're an extrovert. Plot twist. Okay, anyway, question 3. When given a choice between working as part of a team or working as a group, I would prefer to A, work with as many people as possible. B, work as part of a small group. C, work by myself. So the thing is about this question is I feel like group work is a very specific situation. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's introversion versus extroversion in that case. Because I would choose work by myself. Not because I don't like people. I just don't like working with people. And them controlling my marks. Or like my credits. So that's me.
Yeah, like in a varsity context, I would definitely work by myself, preferably. But I think now I would choose work in a small group just because, I don't know, I believe in collaboration and different. So it's like, I don't know.
Okay, no, pick the one that works for you, girl. Like,
I think I'd work in.
Pick the one that works for you. Oh, okay. That time. Yeah. I need to just keep an eye on the phone. Okay, cool. Alright, next question. What's your idea of the perfect date? A live concert in Central Park. We don't have Central Park. This is not New York. A live concert somewhere nice like Emerentia. Let's say that. B, dinner and a Broadway show. So dinner and a show, which we know what that is. C, wine and Netflix. Yo. A date though.
The problem is the date.
You see what I'm saying? Like the date element. You can say like an outing with your significant other. But a date, you would want to interact. But also Netflix, you don't talk. All of these things actually you don't talk. If we think... Actually, it's not saying the first date.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say live concert. Cause
I said wine and Netflix.
Nice. Okay. Next question. During parties or social gatherings, I tend to... A, talk to as many people as I can. I've been called a social butterfly. Okay. Spend time with a few people that I know. It's about quality, not quantity. Or C, keep to myself. You can find me by the punch bowl. Social gatherings. It depends. It really depends. But which one would I like go the most to? Let's just pick the social butterfly. Let's just say real words. Because I can make friends, but then I make friends with those people and then I stick to those people, if that makes any sense. So like if I meet someone new, you are my crew now. We are crewing. So it's not like I'm constantly meeting someone new. Like I can go into a new space, make a friend, but then that's my friend for the night. I don't like go, okay, bye! Next person, okay, bye! You know what I mean? So I guess social butterfly. Which one did you pick?
B. So
nice. Okay.
People, yeah.
Cool. Question 6. When I'm dealing with a personal problem, I prefer to... Oh, it's getting deep. Okay. A, talk about it with others and enlist their help. B, call my closest friend and discuss on the phone. C, solve it on my own. I tend to be more private. I picked C.
I also picked C.
I consolidate when I'm going through it. Like, I'm like, okay, pull everything back. I need to review. I need to pull myself towards myself. And then I'll go into the world. I just need to type of vibe. Okay. This is going some kind of way. All right. On the topic of public speaking. Okay, maybe this is one of the ones where it can swing the things. A, I enjoy all eyes on me. B, it's not my strongest suit, but I do it if I have to. C, I get super nervous. I'd rather write 5 research papers instead. No shit. Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather write the research papers.
Seriously?
Yep.
See, cool. Okay, cool. Number 8. People describe you as thoughtful, reserved, and soft-spoken. A, never. I'm a very talkative person. B, sometimes. I can also be quite talkative with my inner circle. C, all the time. I'm very quiet and mellow. Shame. This is how people describe me. I have different descriptions for myself, but this is how people describe me. Which is A, obviously. Never. I'm a talkative person. Which one did you pick? B, sometimes with the inner circle. I like that. Okay, so that speaks to a little bit of one of the memes we found, which we'll talk about now. Okay, last 2 questions. Number 9. I enjoy meeting new people. That's the statement. Now here's the 3 answers. A, yes, I can make a friend at the supermarket. B, sometimes I have to be in the right mood. C, it's very hard to meet new people.
C, I meet people through people.
Nice. Okay. In my case, sometimes when I'm in the right mood, there's days legit. Like, you see me at church. Like, I show up at church, I'm out. Like, I'm like, look, I can't right now. Also, because I'm terrible at small talk. I don't know what's happened to me. I just don't have it anymore. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't. Let me not say like lies. I don't. Anyway, cool. Next. So, last question. How do you prefer to communicate? A, in person. Tell me face to face. B, call me first and we'll meet up if you need to elaborate. C, can't you text or call me? Wait, text or email me. Who calls people these days?
Okay.
Honestly, face to face. Okay.
I think B.
Okay.
I hate texts.
Yeah, texting sucks, bruh. Yeah. Like, it sucks. Let's just say real words. It sucks.
Yeah. I hate text. Yeah.
Did you select one?
I selected B.
Okay, cool. So it gives you the results at the end. Because you're my guest, I want you to go first. So, yeah, tell us what you are and then obviously read the description.
Okay. Please. I got ambivert.
Okay.
Most people lie somewhere in between 2 polar ends of each personality dimension. Your results indicate that you have both extroverted and introverted qualities. What exactly does this mean? Extroverts tend to be quite outgoing, talkative. They enjoy spending time with other people and feel energized in social situations. Oftentimes, extroverts like being the focus of attention. Introverts tend to enjoy solitude and spending quiet time alone. They expend energy in social situations and prefer not to be the center of attention. Since your results indicate that you're somewhere in the middle, extroverts or extroverts/introverts continuum, you tend to...
That's a fancy word, that, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
You tend to have qualities that fit in both ends of the spectrum. You like spending time with others, but you also enjoy having time to yourself. You might not mind being the center of attention once in a while, but you probably prefer to stay out of the spotlight on a day-to-day basis.
So the reason I know what you're reading is because I also got ambivert.
But wait, I have 2 results. So when I scroll down, it says introvert. What does it say?
Where?
Like, so it says ambivert.
Yeah.
And then when you scroll down, it goes to introvert.
Ow! I just got ambivert and it stopped there. How? Where, Nana? Okay, Shape, let me read yours. Do you want to read it again? I want to give you so much work. So I'm going to read this for Luba because she got 2 results. Some of us are just ambi. So you got both.
That's strange.
That is so interesting. Okay. So this is Luba's one. I'm just reading it because I can't make my guest read 2 freaking paragraphs of things. Okay, your results indicate that you are more of an introvert. What exactly does that mean? Introverts tend to enjoy solitude and spending quiet time alone. They expend energy in social situations and prefer not to be the center of attention. In general, people describe you as quiet. You probably prefer to spend time alone or with a small group of close friends or family. You may dislike busy social events such as parties and often feel drained after spending a lot of time with people you don't know well. In addition to understanding the main characteristics of introverts, it can be helpful to understand more about dating an introvert and how to distinguish between introversion and shyness. Oh, that's just the little thing about life. And then I love that it has like little disclaimer at the bottom. It's like, this tool does not provide medical advice. It is intended for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical consultation, diagnosis, or treatment. I don't even know why someone would be diagnosed with introversion though. Like, but maybe we're just not taking things seriously. Anyway, whatever. Okay, so what did you think of the quiz?
I mean, it needed to be more specific. Like,
right? Like, I felt like, okay. And?
Like, I like working in small groups with people, but, like, people I know.
Yeah, like, okay. And I do think, but I mean, obviously, I kept it light because I was also like, let's not, like, try and unpack our deeper inner. It's not that deep. But, okay, so I'm an ambivert. I will say though, like I said, now that I've gotten like older, there's certain things, like I have a social battery now. I didn't know I had a social battery. Like I've had moments where I've been somewhere and been like, I'm done. Like, as in like, you know, like how a child can be happy and then stop being happy immediately?
Yeah.
Except obviously I don't throw a temper tantrum and like demand to leave. But I've had one of those moments, actually a couple of those moments where I'm like, okay, I'm done. I need out. Like, and I need out soon. Like, I can't do this anymore. It's weird. I do actually think that, like, the older you get, I don't even necessarily think it's introversion. I think it's just realizing that there's things you want to spend time on, if that makes any sense. And you just want to spend time doing the things that you like.
Yeah.
You know? But, I mean, have you found that? Do you find that you've gotten more introverted the older you get, or?
Definitely. I mean,
really?
Growing up, I was actually like loud, like talkative, maybe not loud, but like a talkative child.
Really?
Like very talkative child. But even now, like at home, I'm not the most quiet person within my family. Obviously, my dad and I are like probably the loudest.
Interesting.
Yeah, my dad is an extrovert though. He's like very much an extrovert. My mom is an introvert, like very much an introvert. So
that is interesting. Okay.
So like growing up, I was like loud, and then towards high school, I think I was like more reserved, more quiet. But also, a lot of people who went to high school with me would think otherwise, just because like when it came time for the speeches, the presentations, or whatever it is, like I would speak.
You would stand up and present.
And speak in public. I would,
and you'd be fine.
I'd be fine. Yeah, like even like I think it's not I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. If I can stay away, I can. But like if I'm in a situation where I'm serving and we have to speak, I will speak, but preferably no.
That is actually really cool. So like obviously you know yourself, you know what you can and cannot do, but you're also like, look, life requires a level of like, I guess, functionality or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm more describing the friend that you had mentioned earlier than you.
Yeah.
Because you're like, look, in certain contexts, I'm not the quiet one. I'm not the shy one.
Yeah.
I wonder, would that apply to almost, I feel like it would. Because, I mean, I have friends who aren't people, you know what I mean? Like, they're not, like, out there, hey type of vibe. But with me, I guess they are, like, we loud, we funny, we make ourselves laugh, hey, blah, blah, blah. But that is very interesting. Because I think that's the thing that's always fascinated me, is I'm like, okay, I think the thing that actually triggered the most this chat was the fact that, like, I've been around people that are just like, it's a lot. Because I choose days. There's days where I'm like, I bring full 100% Tracy. And then there's days where I'm like, I'm just here. Like, and it's okay that I'm just here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need more. You know what it is as well? It's because it seeps out of me. I think I am an extrovert. It's part of who I am, but it's one of those things where it's just like a feature of me as opposed to like the main thing about me. So it seeps out in the sense of like, obviously, like you've been in the tribe. For all those people who are listening who don't know what we're talking about, because you might be, you know, people who are just listening to my podcast, hey, thanks for listening. Anyway, so the tribe is our young adults ministry Bible study on Wednesdays. So yeah, if you're looking for a church in Midrand, hey, holla. Anyway, so in the tribe I'm a leader, so but even if I wasn't really, let's be serious, I got chirps for days. So because of the fact that like I'm in a comfortable space around people, whatever it is, I think sometimes like someone says something, you know how it goes, someone makes a comment or says something, and then we all just like got words type of vibe. And in those situations I can't help myself, like it's just like I got a comment, I got words, and I'm like, what would it be like to not have words? Do you have comments and words, it's just you don't say them out loud?
So yeah, like I think I used to be that person who like in any situation they'll be like any comments and then you just like quiet. But then I read a quote or I think I read a quote that said the worst thing you can do in a collaborative space is not collaborate. So I think from there, like I have to push myself, but it also takes like time. So sometimes it happens, I do say like, oh, okay, this is what I wanted to add, or this is my comment. But sometimes it's like spend the whole time practicing. Then by the time I'm like ready to say it, you've moved on to the next thing. Okay. But yeah, so I think that could like be the shyness part of it.
Yeah, but again, do you feel shy? I don't know about that emotion comment, guys. I don't know if we trust the scientific streets. I don't know.
But also in a space where I trust the people, that's different. Like where I'm close to the people and I'm like, these are my people. Then it's like, oh.
So that leads me to, I guess, my next question, which is, when does that change happen? How has that change happened? And let's not use it as a general statement. Maybe use an example of a situation where you've had someone you were, like, obviously you weren't comfortable with, because that's how friendship works. You weren't comfortable with, and then you got comfortable with. Like, maybe use any example, slow, fast, whatever it is. Or actually two, I wouldn't mind two. Like one where you were like 0 to, actually we cool now, quicker than you would have expected. And one where slow burner, but you eventually got there. If you have them, of course.
At church, there's student ministry that I started serving in.
Yeah.
How I got there, literally, a friend just said, let's go. And then I was like, okay, going.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I went to the tribe and I bumped into someone I knew from high school. So I'm like, I'm going to stick with you.
Nice.
So I was like, he's like, let's go. And I went. So we started having these dinners on Tuesday with the other leaders.
Yeah.
And I mean, they like get personal. They ask questions.
Yeah, because I know church people don't let you off the hook, dog.
Like
church people won't be like, so, how's your love life? And you're like, I don't know you. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it would be like simple questions like, what brought you the greatest joy this week, and what caused you the most sorrow?
That's super deep. I don't know, that's a simple question.
Yeah, it's actually quite deep.
That's quite deep, yeah.
Yeah, like at first I'd just give like, I don't know, one word answers. Like just, oh no, what brought me the most joy? I'm just grateful I have a job. Sorrow, work has been stressful. You know?
Like you kept it like nice and light.
Light. But I think just over time, like, because we met every Tuesday and like, you're meeting every Tuesday from March till now.
Jeez.
These people are gonna know even your quirks. Your so I don't know. It just happens.
It just happens. So was that like a slow burn type of vibe?
Yeah.
And is that like a whole group? Like, are you comfortable with all those people now? Are they
all those people
But that's the joy of ministry.
Yeah.
You know, I think, and obviously, like, my podcast is my podcast, and as I said, I'm going to say things, and we're going to just be people. So at this point, you're going to learn a little bit about ministry, whoever's listening. It is what it is. But the joy about ministry is you get deep quick. Sometimes, like, obviously, a lot of the time it's good because people can feel very welcomed very easily. Like, people are very open and ready to be vulnerable very easily. Sometimes, it's not so great. It just depends. You just have to find the right people, you know what I'm saying, and pray that you find the right people. But yeah, that's amazing. That's actually really cool. Have you ever met anybody where you're like, no, this one, I'm keeping you? and like it was like 0 to 100. Obviously not like 100 because you're still
so even the friend I bumped into high school, I'm stretching it when I say we weren't friends in high school. This person was 2 grades younger, so we were definitely not friends.
Yeah, definitely. You should have seen. Are definitely not friends.
No, we're
Sorry,
definitely not friends.
Yeah,
but we have mutual friends. But yeah, like I met him. I was like, you're in Midrand. Okay. What have you been doing? I didn't even know like what we're studying, what he's studying, where he's studying. So he just caught up, and then it's like, okay, no, I'm keeping you. So it's just, some people it just happens, but for me maybe it's because we were in hostel. For me, like everyone who was in hostel, man, basically grew up together. We didn't.
Okay.
So I think that's one of.
Did you go to boarding school?
Yeah, I did.
Why do you say it like that? I'm not sure.
Because people say it doesn't count if we went home every weekend.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah, so people say it doesn't count.
No, haters. Like, look, sorry for the boarding school kids that had to stay there the whole time. I'm not saying it didn't suck. I'm not saying that, like, obviously. But boarding school is still boarding school. Like, you spent evenings with your friends type of vibe.
Yeah.
Like, my parents actually had to take me out of boarding school because I wasn't focused. Because it was like, I have friends around all the time. What? Living with my friends was the best. But yeah, so just, like, my parents were like, okay. It's cut-off time now type of vibe. And I had to come home and like it was a whole reconfigure. But that's a different story and we'll dig into that on a different episode. But yeah, okay, so, and it was co-ed.
Yes. And I think that's where it comes from, where I say I don't like being alone. Because I've never really had, even in primary school, I was in boarding school. So I've never been like alone, like as in like never had never had the option like where I'd never not had the option to have people. So
that's intense.
Like I've never, especially in hostel, like everything was routine. So definitely you're not gonna sit in your room alone. We only got our own rooms in Matric actually. Yeah. So
because we had like little cubicles in like a giant room. Like a big, so how they structured it at our school was, and it was all girls, so different, actually not even slightly different dynamic, let's just say the words. So it was like a giant room and then literally cubicles, like little cubically roomy things type of vibes. But yeah, so how did you guys do it?
We had, there was a boys hostel and then a girls hostel. So in grade 8 you have 4 in a room, grade 8, 9, 10 you're 2 in a room, the room is small, and in matric and grade 11 depending on the number of people, then you get your own room. So it wasn't
so it was rooms, just how many people are in the room. Interesting. You lived with 3 other females. Dang, son, how was that?
Well, the people who were my roommates in grade 8 are still my friends till this day.
That's
so.
Nice. Did you guys stay roommates, or did they change you guys around? So
remember I said in grade 8 you're like that, and then the next year you get to choose.
Oh, okay. So did you guys just keep each other?
We kept each other the next year, and then in grade 10 you get a smaller room, so it's a 2-bedroom.
So you just divided. Well, okay, you 2 go there. Us 2 go there. Oh, that's lovely.
So most of my friends actually, like my closest friends, are from high school.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. That's so cool. That's I actually just realized something, and these are things that I should have asked at the beginning. I'm learning. Where's home? Like, where did all of this happen? Obviously, we're not trying to get into real details, but like, where's home?
Mpumalanga. It happened in White River. That's weird.
Okay. So the boarding school decision, was it like your parents were like, this is where you're going, dog? Or did you have options and you were like, I picked boarding school?
No, I didn't have an option. It was just, I guess my school was an hour, it's an hour, 30 minutes away. So it was just a matter of, like, you can't travel that distance every day.
And there were no schools that were closer?
Well, that was, I guess, what my parents felt was the best school, or the one they wanted me to go to.
Deep. Yeah, no, my parents were just like, yo, dog, what school you want to go to? No, it's weird. It's really weird. I chose my primary school and I chose my high school. But obviously within parameters. It's not like, also because, I mean, as a kid, you only have exposure to whatever they expose you to.
Yeah.
So it's not that like I had every option in the world. Also, there was no internet back then. So it's not like I could be like, okay, I'm not a Gen Z where like I had a cell phone available and I can see the top 10 schools and be like, cool. Also, kids these days are so smart.
Yeah.
So smart. I was not that smart. I was part of the kids that played outside. So I went to the school that like all the friends from like my preschool were gonna go to. So that's what I did. So I went to a school in Centurion. And then after that, I went to... So my high school was like a more informed decision. I am not gonna lie though. I made the choice legitimately. One, I wanted to go to boarding school because I was like, yeah, boarding school. Two, one of my friends was going, and it wasn't... Because you know how it works, where it's usually like it's... primary school feeds into high school, feeds into. Like, everyone who went to the school goes to the school. You know? So in my case, it wasn't that. Like, I was like, ugh, I'm tired of these people from primary school. Because I was like, I need to shake things up. I can't be here. So then I went to an all-girls school, high school, which was, like, far away. Not, like, far, but, like, far. Like, far in the case of, like, going there every day would just be not great. Not, like, a smart idea. So that's why I went into boarding school. But then, obviously, I had too much fun. Maybe because of my extroversion. I had too much fun and my parents were like, okay, fun's over. We need you to focus now. So they pulled me out of boarding school in grade 10 and then I had to travel every day. And that was a whole other mission or whatever. High school was a trip, guys. High school was so weird. Especially going to like an all-girls school. Like, I feel like my high school experience just... I watch high school movies and I'm like, really? Damn it. Are things like that? What things like... You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I mean, we're not talking euphoria here. Because, hi, both the children, babies, that is a different level. But you know what I mean? Like, the interactions and the vibes and all of that. Is it like that?
Not like the movies.
Yeah, obviously, movies make it... I mean, it's not High School Musical where we fall in love on rooftops with plants, but...
But I mean, it's still high school. But I mean, I didn't have a horrible high school experience. I didn't hate high school. Yeah,
because I mean, your crew was your crew. You guys chose each other early, which I think helps.
Yeah, and we were in hostel, so I don't know. That helped.
Did you guys have day scholars as well?
Yes. So it kind of helped. Like, you almost had like backing.
That's true, because like you live together. Like, this is your family, technically. You know what I mean? Obviously. Weekend people, I mean, I get that, but I get you. Okay, girl. Okay. So, is there anything else I wanted us to talk about? No, I just wanted to let the flows chat and the chats flow. So, I mean, obviously, we've done this episode. We've learned some things. We've done some... Oh, look at that, 38 minutes. Guys, I'm feeling time. Banana. But anyway, Lubes, from your perspective, just from this chat, what have you learned? What has come out of it that you're like, I didn't expect that?
Well, I didn't expect. I don't know. I learned that, well, not all extroverts aren't extroverted all the time. Yeah, I think that's like maybe a misconception I had, that, oh my goodness, all this time this person just wants to talk, and people like every day you've got words. So I was like yeah, that's the thing. I always look at extroverted people and I'm like, don't you get tired? Like,
bro.
Yeah.
But granted, apparently I'm an ambivert, so I can't speak for the squad. But I do. I really do. Like, I run out. Like, I do. Like, I have a limit. But I think the thing that makes it... Maybe the reason I'm an ambivert, and obviously this is me just throwing my own psychology on it, guys. None of this is proven. I haven't gone to a therapist. But, like, it's because I grew up as an only child. So, alone time doesn't bother me. I'm okay with my own company. very okay with my own company. I talk to myself all the time. So, and especially as a kid, it was worse. Like now, I control it a bit more. Back when I was a kid, we'd be out and about, and I'd have a full-on conversation with myself.
Yeah.
Like to the point where people are like, okay, is your kid okay? Type of vibe. So I think it's that. And I think there was a portion of my life, maybe it's my 20s, where I went full ham extroversion. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, yeah, people, life, doing it, whatever. And then I don't know, something happened in the past year or so where I'm just like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I can't. And the thing is, like I said, it happens when I least expect it. Like I was actually talking about this today with some of my colleagues, where I'm like, I used to be able to go to like a festival and be like, good, whole time in the crowd, let's go, let's do this. Now, if I'm at a festival, I need to stand on the side. I can't have too many people around me or like too close to me. And it's not even because of COVID. This started happening before COVID. And I was just like, I can't. Like, I actually think I've had a couple panic attacks, if I'm honest. Because I struggle to breathe. Like, I'm like, I can't do this. I can't breathe. I need to move. And it happened to me, I think, for the first time. I can't remember what concert I went to with a friend, and I was like, I need to move. Luckily, I'm tall, which helps. So, me moving doesn't change the price of my bread. But yeah, so, and it started there, and then it started seeping into, like, more social situations where, like, I would literally have, like, a sudden, I want to go home. Not warning, not slowly coming down, not that the party is calming, no.
You want to go home?
I go from yay to I want to go home. Like quite almost immediately. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's something to unpack there. The mental health babies will tell me. But yeah, legit, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm glad you've learned something, because I've learned a lot. Because I think the thing that I've always thought about is, I'm like, one, like I said, the thing that always pressed on my mind is, I'm like, how do I... Actually, this is a question I want to pose to you. So, I've always thought about, because I'm an extrovert, I obviously experience life a little bit differently. So, in the case of trying to interact with someone who's a little bit introverted, I don't know how to approach someone in like a welcoming manner without overwhelming them. You know what I mean? Because obviously, I can only deliver myself the way I can deliver myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, as much as I can calm it down, eventually I'm going to get back to 100%, whether I like it or not. It is what it is. And I think the thing that was my struggle was, like, I want to be welcoming, but I also don't want to make you feel like you are, like, overbearing. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, like I said, overwhelm somebody.
Yeah.
So, like, how does an extrovert, learning from an introvert, deal with someone, like, for instance, someone new you've just met or whatever it is, and you want to obviously present yourself as you, but you also don't want to make somebody uncomfortable. You get me? And this is one of those things that only goes one way, because introverts don't make extroverts uncomfortable, because where would you be? You know what I mean? So that's actually a question I wanted to pose to you.
I think it depends on context.
Okay.
If you're meeting me at a shopping mall, just don't talk to me.
Just don't. Choose no. If the option is yes or no, choose no.
No, it really depends on context. Like, if it's in a situation where it's a crowd and you're trying to make this person feel like welcome, yeah, just approach them. But also, I think a lot of extrovert people want to take you around and now then it becomes like overwhelming. Like, because now I'm like, eventually I'm now the center of attention, because now everyone is looking, this new girl. So,
I get you. So it's welcome me as you, as one person.
Yeah.
Don't welcome me and then try and make it a group welcome.
Yeah, like when everyone is now on this new person, that's when it becomes overwhelming. Because I don't think, like, you saying, oh, how are you? Oh, I'm Tracy, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
It is what it is. That's fine.
It is what it is. So
but
then, here's another person. Oh, just meet them and then it's fine.
Yeah.
Then.
So hand you over to one person.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
I'm dead. Okay. Because I think I've done that before where like, yo, I was overwhelmed or whatever it is. But also it's just personality types as well. I don't think it's just that.
Yeah, it's definitely personality type. But also some people get overwhelmed by like listening to too much information, answering like so many questions about themselves on the first encounter.
That is so true.
So it's like, why is this person asking me these questions? So that's also personality type. Like, how much is the person willing to share?
That's so true. And that actually just sparked something in me where I realized, I'm like, actually recently because of my new job, but like, when last were you the new person somewhere? You know what I mean? Like, there's a point you kind of get to where like there's less and less opportunities to be the new person somewhere. You get me? Obviously, we're in that current space in our lives where, you're growing career, blah, 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 but...
My job.
When did you start your job?
I started it in Jan, but I mean, like... So you move from project to project, you rotate teams. So sometimes it's like 6 months. Sometimes, not 6 months, sorry, 6 weeks. Sometimes you stay with a team for 3 months. So because it's my first year, I haven't obviously met everyone. From next year, I'll be welcoming the new people within. I'll still be rotating, but I won't be new. So
this year has been a year.
Yeah, like you constantly. That
introducing yourself.
What's the interesting
thing about you?
Also, there's the culture that so since we're working on this this project, we're all gonna sit together, have lunch together. We work in a boardroom, not like cubicles. Work in one table with that new team. So sometimes it's a team of 12 people, and a smaller client it's a team of 4 people, or whatever the case is. So you're constantly new. This year it's been a bit stretching.
I was about to say I'm exhausted hearing that, and I'm not terrible at new environments.
And I mean, colleague relationships are weird already. So just constantly but it's been interesting.
There's so much of my life that isn't new. I don't know if that is a happy thing or a sad thing, if I'm honest. Because I'm one of those people that just believes in doing new things. People on the podcast who listen to the intro, don't judge me. We got a podcast now. Calm down. I was very open and honest in my intro, where I literally just said like, I avoid things that are risky. So I do new things, I just don't do risky new things. So this is like a risky new thing, which I avoid. But yeah, like I think the minute you run out of ways to do something new, I'm not necessarily saying be new everywhere, because I mean, like at some point you need to lay down some roots, and settle. But doing new things or doing something a little bit out of your comfort zone, case in point, the minute you stop, there is like a level of like growth, I feel like. You know what I mean? That you just don't get anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, okay. Interesting. You're a year of new though, yo.
But I've had, the year before that, I did my honors at a new university. So I've just been going through new like in a new province. During COVID as well. It was like residual COVID. So I've had a lot of new moving. And then this year I moved new city, new job. Having to make new friends, like, who are here. So I've just...
You must be overwhelmed. Are you not exhausted?
I just don't want to change anything about my life right now. Like, I'm like, next year, I would rather have everything stay the same. If I can.
I've been in the wave of change. I want no change. Obviously, general personal growth and whatever, but like
no change.
Like I'm not trying to move. I'm not trying to get a new job.
No. Like I think, when you consider a new job, I'm like nothing that would require me to change. I'm even reluctant to change the area I live in. So looking for a new apartment, I'm like, I don't if it's more than 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers from where I'm currently staying, I don't think I want it, because I just want to go back to not having new. Like, I just want continuity.
Interesting. I think we're not on different sides of the spectrum of the words, apparently. But, like, I think we're on different sides of the spectrum in the case of my life. I think I went through something along the lines of what you're going through now a while ago. I don't know when it happened, because obviously I'm at the other end now, where I've had a lot of the same. And I've built my life that way. It's not who it just happened to me. I can't blame it on anyone or whatever it is. Because as I said, I'm a risk-averse person. So I'm one of those people where for a bit of my life was a bit shaky. And I got so shook that I'm like, I just need to be stable. So I focused on stability. Like, I focused on, okay, what's the job that gets me to stability? What's the lifestyle that gets me to stability? What's, let's say, the car that gets me to stability? Like, where can I live that is stable? Like, I needed my ducks to align. Because I'm one of those people where I'm like, if this is done, it's easy to do the next thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, if I have no home to go to, I can't go on a trip.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of that mentality where I need a foundation. From there, I can play. I can, disappear, come back, but I need to be able to come home. And that applies to everything in my life. Like, I'm like, cool, yes, I'm doing this podcast and it's great and whatever it is, but I need a job. I need something that pays for my bills. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I need someone to pay for the internet that I'm going to post this episode with and stuff like that. And I think there's a part of me that wants to change that, because I've been maintaining this stability for so long that I've gotten to a place now where I'm like, now what?
Yeah.
And I think along the way of trying to make stability happen, I became stagnant a little bit. I mean, I tried, a couple little departures here and there, like trying to do something here, trying to do something there, but nothing hectic, nothing big.
Yeah.
Because risk averse. Now what?
That's true.
So I think that's where I'm at. And I mean, I guess the podcast is a little bit of that departure. Okay, cool. So obviously, first of all, I need to say thank you, Luba, for coming.
Thank you for
and thank you for agreeing, and even after I disappeared for like 3 months.
You ghosted me.
I ghosted you whole, girl. I ghosted myself, if I'm honest with you. I ghosted myself because I was just like, I'm overthinking this, I can't do this. I stopped. And then I got to a place where I was like, okay, it's time. I was like, honestly, can I tell you how I've been avoiding it? Because we share this in common, because we both like K-dramas. How I would avoid working on my podcast and the planning for my podcast is just I would go into a K-drama hole and just stay there. And like, if I'm like in a different world, I don't have to think about the things I'm not doing. Type of vibe. So what I've actually done now is I'm like, okay, you can watch a K-drama, whatever it is, but like, it's my reward for doing my personal work. So I'm like, no episode for you until you do your work. So yeah, I'm a child. Apparently, I have to work on a reward system. But anyway, so before I let you go, I heard this specific slot as a concept that I found in one of the podcasts I've listened to, which is Diary of a CEO, with this dude that used to be a CEO. I don't know. I listened to an episode. I thought it was cool. Anyway, so he does this thing with his guests where he asks the guest, you, please ask a question to my next guest that you would like the answer to. And it can be anything you want. It can be deep. It can be... Actually, don't make it light. Let's make it deep. Let's make it interesting. Because the whole idea is it's like an ongoing conversation.
Okay.
So what question would you like my next guest to answer? And you don't know who my next guest is. Hell, I barely know who my next guest is. So, yeah, just put a question out there that would be like a cool answer to get.
What keeps you up? What wakes you up every day? Like,
what's your motivation?
What's your motivation daily? Like, what's the thing that is like makes you, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna...
Interesting. Okay. There isn't a question for you because you're my first guest.
Okay.
So I'm going to bring you back though because we have to close the loop. But yeah, so thank you again for joining us on...
Thank you for having me.
A potential podcast. Thank you for coming all the way to my house and sitting here and having fun chats. I actually had shared some memes that I wanted us to go through, but I'm like, I feel like we chatted about the things that happen in those memes anyway. So the people of the podcast who are listening, thank you so much for listening. The quiz I'm going to put in the podcast description if you would like to know if you're an intro, an extro, an ambi intro, which apparently is what Luba is. The memes I will put on Instagram. They're nothing you haven't seen before, but I obviously need the content to be there. There will be more interviews like this one with people that just I find interesting. I've said it before that I just want to have cool conversations with cool people. And hopefully by learning about others, learning more about myself. What I've honestly learned, actually, before I do my full-on sign-off, is I've learned a little bit about the fact that you can't necessarily put certain things in a certain box. Also, I've now learned how to deal with an introvert in a way, from an introvert. So the next time someone says I overwhelmed them, I'm gonna be like, I tried.
You tried.
You know what I mean? I got advice, I tried. But anyway, so more interviews like this will be coming. Please leave comments wherever comments are allowed, because if I'm honest, I'm going to put this on a bunch of platforms and hope for the best. So please leave comments where comments are allowed. We are on Facebook and Instagram. I say we, like there's more than me. But so what I did in my first episode was I was like, no, you're on the right now. It's a we. So anyway, we are now on Facebook and Instagram. So I'm going to be posting links to this episode on there. The next episode will be my first podcast review attempt, because we know I'm saying everything is an attempt. This is a potential podcast with Tracy Lee. Thank you for giving us your time and your ears. I pray this podcast and I live up to our potential. Yay. And that's us, girl.